And Isaac loved Esau because he didn't eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob. Mom, dad, like, one has their favorite. But are you looking at this? The favorite of the dad. What's the dad's name? The dad's name is Jacob, who would later become Israel. This is the same person. And he loved his son Esau more so than he loved his son Isaac, because he was loved more with his mom, and he stayed with his mom. He was a plain man. But which dad wouldn't love their son who went out to hunt? Just get a bow and shoot animals, and yeah, that's my boy. That's Esau. He might have looked a little bit different, but that's my son. He might have been really, really light-skinned, but that's my son. As a parent, he might have been really, really light-skinned, but that's my son. As a parent, really, really light-skinned, but that's my son. He might have been really, really light-skinned, but that's my son. He might have been really, really light-skinned, but that's my son. As a parent, you love your children, and it's evident in these scriptures.
Shalom, 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 shalom. As first, I want to give all the praises and the glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, Bahasham, Rakat, double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the 144,000 and to the hopeful elect brothers and sisters of the house of Israel, the true children of Israel. So, as you can see, I'm responding to another one of this Israelite confused.com group, call themselves Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries. As you can see from the title, is Esau really the father of the white man? So they don't believe Esau is, they also don't believe that Esau is the so-called white man, that they're the Edomites. They believe that he was just, as you just heard, he was just born light skin, right? The phrase that we use for fair skin, Israelites, an actual person, so-called black person that's very fair skin, we'd say is light skin. So like Apostle Tahar is fair skinned. Right? Or we would say Apostle Tahar is fair skinned. So they believe Esau was just fair skinned. They don't believe that he was a so-called white man, as you can see from what that's why I played it back several times for you to hear what he said. So it's another wacky-tacky teaching that they're teaching, that they don't believe that Esau is a so-called white man. All right. Now, I'm going to just forward it up to another little bit, hear what he has to say here, and then we're going to take it from there. All right. So that was the first part I want you to hear. They don't believe that Esau is a so-called white man. They just believe that he was some fair-skinned, just a Jacob's twin who was just happened to be fair-skinned. Right? Anyway, let's listen to what it says here.
I'm going to skip just a little bit because we do know the story of Esau.
Tell me if these guys don't sound very much like IUIC. Listen carefully what he says, right? If this doesn't sound like an IUIC, I don't know which one of them would have said it first, but listen carefully.
And how he sold his birthright and what he did. But there was something that took place. And it says here in Genesis chapter 32, Jacob at this particular time, he's going to go and meet his brother. He had just come from living amongst Laban, and he stolen the birthright. He did, but that's what he was directed to do. The God of Israel put these things in place, and our father had Esau lose his birthright to his brother. But as the scripture says, the elder shall serve the younger. So Esau grew up with that, hating his brother. But that's really and truly none of your business. It has nothing to do with you. This is a family matter. So when you go to read scriptures like Malachi, where it says that God hated Esau, that's none of your business. That's the God of Israel business. If he decides that he wants to hate Esau, that's up to him. So I'm sorry. You're stepping out of your place when you think that you have some personal vendetta against Esau. Vengeance is not yours. Vengeance belongs to the God of Israel. And if he decides to deal with Esau, how he will deal with Esau and Edom, that's completely up to him. But it's none of your business. You can't get in the way of what the God of Israel is going to do. He did those things and he said those things because of what Esau did. But it's not your place to go out and hate Esau. doing when he's dealing with Esau. That's none of your business, because all that hatred, and this is what happened when Esau came to meet Jacob from the first.
So as you can see, that's the direct sounds just like what IUIC says. You're not meant to hate Esau. This is what they tell you, right? Very well. Let me just let you know, yes, we do hate the Edomites, right? Because we know they hate us, and we do hate them, and we do hate the things that the Most High hates. It's as simple as that, all right? So we do hate Esau, the Edomites, and we know predominantly the Edomites are the so-called white man, the Europeans. Predominantly, the Europeans go back to Esau. They're the descendants of Esau. They don't even believe that the so-called white man is the Edomites. And you know what gets me about these type of camps? They always tell you what it's not, but they can't tell you what it is, because they can't tell you. He didn't tell me who Esau is. If Esau's not the so-called white man, then you need to tell me who he is. Who is Esau today? And that's the one question that they can never answer. Oh, we don't know who he is today, but we know he's not the so-called white man. This is what they would tell you. This is the madness of these organizations. This is the confusion. They're total confusion. And as I said earlier, scripture, Yahweh is not the author of confusion. It's these degenerate Israelite organizations that are not teaching according to scripture at all. And like I said, and they probably weren't even teaching Esau until they heard the men from One West teaching about Edom, the Edomites, so forth and so on. I bet they weren't even teaching about who the Edomites were until they heard One West and the elders and the apostles of One West and their elders teaching about One West probably in the 90s, 2000. They heard them teaching about it, and they just cotton onto it. So that's the madness of these. They say, oh, you're not meant to hate Esau. You're not meant to do this, not meant to do that. But yet they don't even know who Esau is. But they do know he's not the white man, apparently. All right? But we know who Esau is, you know. And I just got some few scriptures I've got lined up here that I want to bring out, all right? So I'm going to start here. Micah 4:13, all right? They say you're not meant to hate Esau, right? This is what he's trying to tell you, right? But we know, is that scripture go? Is it I hate? Oh, there's another scripture I'm thinking of as well. Hate. Is it Psalms 119? Yeah, no, Psalms 139. Let's just quickly get it up. Let's just start there first. Then we're going to bring out these scriptures here, right? And these guys are. This is another wacky. I told you, it's another wacky tacky organization, boy. And I didn't realize that they was out there, because they seem like they've got quite a big organization, but they're completely gone off the rails, man. They've left the plantation. First one, the last verse. Here it is. Here. Psalms 139, verse 21. Do I not hate them, O Yahweh, that hate thee? So we know the Edomites do hate the Most High. They don't believe in the Most High, right? We know that for a fact. These Edomites do not believe in the Most High, and they hate everything about the Most High. Do I not hate them, O Yahweh, that hate thee? Because their idea of God is this white Jesus Christ image, this their savior, and they probably believe, and they also believe that this white Jesus Christ and God is the same person, right? This is what the Christian Catholic, what they call it, Cathology or Catholicism believes, and all of that bullshit, right? They hate the true Most High of the Bible and Yahushua. So we hate them. Am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee? And they have absolutely rised up against the Most High in everything that they do. In their works, these Edomites have rised up against the Most High. All of their works of the Edomites show you and prove you that they have rised up against the Most High. Right? It says, I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. Esau is our enemy. So yes, you're allowed to hate the Edomites because they are your number one enemy. Esau is your number one. Let's just quickly get it out. Number one in the good look charts, in the haters charts. Esau is your number one enemy. All right. Psalms 83:2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. Who's lifted up the head? The Edomites, they've come against the Most High in his teaching. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, against the true children of Israel, and consulted against thine hidden ones, which are us. They said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. This is what they did, continue to do. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. They are confederate against the Most High, because they've come up against the Most High's hidden ones. All right. What did we say here? He says, I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies, right? I hate them with perfect hatred. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee? Am I not grieved on those that rise up against thee, that rise up against thee? All right. What does Psalm say here? For they have consulted together with one consent. They have come confederate against thee. They've rised up against the Most High and his children. The tabernacles of Edom is the first nation of people on the list. Then the Ishmaelites are second. So Edom, the Edomites, Esau are the first nation that we should be hating, because those are the first nation that's rise up against the Lord and his people. All right. So let's go here. So Micah 4:13, it says, arise and thresh, O daughter of Zion. All right. Who's daughter of Zion? The 12 tribes of Israel. This is what's going to take place in the last days. For I will make thine horn iron. This is what the Lord's going to do when he comes to take down the Edomites. He's going to rise up the daughter of Zion, the Israelites, starting with the 144,000, right? The 144,000 are all men. He's going to rise them up, and he's going to make their horn iron, and he's going to make their hoofs brass, right? Not literally, symbolically. It's the power they're going to possess. And thou shalt beat in pieces many people. Now, you're only going to beat them if you hate them. You're not going to beat them if you like them, right? So we're going to be doing that. Lord willing, we make up part of the 144,000. And I will consecrate their gain unto Yahweh. We're going to take all of their substance, all of their wealth, and their substance unto the Lord of the whole earth. And who's going to be the Lord of the whole earth? Yahweh Shai, because this is the kingdom that he's coming to rule. The Most High rules up in heaven. He's number one up there. Number one that's going to be down here is going to be Yahweh Shai, then David on his right-hand side. That's what they must understand. And they're going to raise up the children of Israel to come up against the nations. And Edom is the first nation, because they've done the most destruction to the children of Israel. Isaiah chapter 41, verse 15. Behold, it says, behold, I will make thee a sharp threshing instrument having teeth. So we're going to have so much power. This is parabolic language. We're going to become a sharp threshing instrument. How are we going to become that? When we get those new bodies, spiritual powers. Lord willing, we make it. When I say we, the hopeful elect, right? I'm not talking presumptuous here. Thou shalt thresh the mountains. The mountains are what? The governments, the nations. This ain't talking about the actual mountains. We ain't going to go and destroy the actual mountains and fight against the mountains. This is talking about the governments. What's at the top of a mountain is a summit. What do they keep? They keep the G7 summit, the G20 summit. Governments keep government summits when they come together. This is parabolic language for the governments of the world. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff. The hills is another symbolic word for, parabolic word for, metaphoric word for the governments. We're going to make them as chaff. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them. And thou shalt rejoice in Yahweh, and shall glory in the Holy One of Israel. All right? Chariots, the angels are going to play a part. I'm just showing you the part that we are going to play when we get those new bodies and we possess those spiritual powers. We're going to be walking around with so much hate, because we're going to be coming for them. We're going to know everything that they did to us. And we're going to be coming to them with so much hate that we're not gonna what's the word I'm looking for? We're not gonna freeze from carrying out the judgment on these nations. Edom is the main nation and the first nation. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 33. But thus says Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel. The daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. America is going to become a human altar. The first is going to be done by the missiles. That's going to come from its adversaries, starting from the Russians and the Chinese, so forth. Then the angels and Yahweh Shai are going to come in their chariots, and they're going to make it a threshing floor, a human altar. It is to thresh her, to destroy her. The threshing floor is where you sacrifice animals. America is going to become the greatest human altar the world has ever seen. It says, yet a while, just hold on, Israel, hold on, be patient. And the time of our harvest shall come. We are coming into the time of the harvest of America. All right? Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, has devoured me. He has crushed me. He has made me an empty vessel. He has swallowed me up like a dragon. He has filled his belly with my delicates. He has cast me out. The violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon, America, Edom's stronghold. Shall the inhabitant of Zion say, and my blood upon the inhabitants of the Chaldeans shall Jerusalem say. You understand? Therefore, thus says Yahweh, behold, I will plead thy cause and take vengeance for thee, and I will dry up her sea and make her springs dry. And Babylon, America, shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons, an astonishment and a hissing without an inhabitant. That's just going to be its end result. It's going to become a human altar. But yeah, we're going to play a part in gathering these devils, right? Psalms 149 is another one. It says here, let the saints be joyful. Who are the saints? The Israelites, the remnant of Israel. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. To do what? To execute vengeance. We are going to be doing it. Lord willing, we make it. We are part of the 144,000, the elect. We are going to be doing it. The women are not going to be fighting. It's just going to be men. The 144,000. And more likely at some point, the other men, elect men of Israel, the mixed multitude men, are going to be playing a part in this as well at some point. But it's going to start with the 144,000 and the angels. To do what? To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people. We are going to be doing that. We're going to have so much hate for these nations, starting with Edom, because we're going to know exactly every crime that they committed against our ancestors and against us. We're going to know everything in the kingdom. So the 144,000 are going to be the main players alongside the angels and the Lord. Then the other men of Israel at some point are going to play a part in taking vengeance as well, just so you understand. To do what? To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. So who are the main kings of the earth today? The Edomites, the super elites, the bankers, the philanthropists, the billionaires, the socialites, the Illuminati, the secret society of these people. The main players we're going to take down first. The biggest players in Esau's kingdom. We're going to bind them with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. We're going to put them into fetters of iron. To do what? To execute upon them the judgment written. Where is the judgment written? From Genesis to Revelation. This honor have all his saints. So who are the saints? The saints are the Israelites. So we, the saints, are going to be executing this judgment. So yes, you can hate Esau, the Edomites, because when we come into our own and receive our new bodies, the laws, the spiritual powers, we're going to have so much hate, so much more hate for these devils when we come for them. Praise ye the Lord, Yahweh. All praises. Let's go to this one. Micah 5 and 8. And the remnant of Jacob, the elect of the children of Israel, shall be amongst the Gentiles, the other nations, in the midst of many people, as a what? As a lion in the beast of a forest. We're going to be like a lion to them. We're going to be hunting them, family. As a young lion, the flocks of sheep, who, if you go through, both treadest down and tearest in pieces, and none can deliver. No one's going to be able to deliver these Edomites and the other nations, starting with the elites, from the judgment that we, the Israelites, are going to bring to them when we receive these new bodies, spiritual powers. Lord willing, we make it. Thine hand shall be lifted up upon thine adversaries, literally, and all thine enemies shall be cut off. And it shall come to pass in that day, the day of judgment, and all the days that precede the day of judgment, says Yahweh, that I will cut off thy horses out of the midst of thee, and I will destroy thy chariots, right? Everything that they got, we're going to take down. And I will cut off the cities of thy land and throw down all thy strongholds. And I will cut off witchcraft out of thine hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers. The graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of thee. And thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hands. And I will pluck up the groves out of the midst of thee, so I will destroy the cities. And I will execute vengeance in anger and fury upon the heathens, such as they have not heard, because we're going to be coming to them like supermen, like Xanos, or whatever his name is, and like those, I forget what those guys that came up against Superman. We're going to have such powers, family. They're going to see powers that they've never heard. So we're going to be executing that vengeance in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is going to be doing his work as well. The angels are going to be doing their work. But yes, we are going to play a major part as well. We, Lord willing, we make it. The women, you're going to be sitting comfortably watching it all on your widescreen TVs in the promised land. You're going to be sitting there with the slaves that we've given you to help, that are going to be building up the promised land. You're going to be so the women are going to be so comfortable in their right mind, in the promised land with their children. The men, we're going to be warriors. Zechariah 9:13. When I have bent Judah for me and filled the bow with Ephraim. You understand? Bending Judah, filling the bow with Ephraim. So we're going to come together. A bow and an arrow. The bow is no good without the arrow. The arrow is no good without the bow. Don't get me wrong. You can take an arrow and use it individually, but primarily it's no good without the bow. So Judah, the Lord says, is going to bend Judah. This is parabolic language, and fill the bow with Ephraim, meaning the 12 tribes coming together. And raise up thy sons, O Zion, 12 tribes of Israel, the men, against thy sons, O Greece, the Edomites, the Idumeans, and made thee as a sword of a mighty man. And Yahweh shall be seen over them, and this arrow shall go forth as the lightning. Man, we're going to be moving like lightning. And Yahweh shall blow the trumpet. It's going to be like the Olympics, man, when we come for these motherfuckers. And shall go with whirlwinds of the south, chariots. Trust me. Chariots, and they're getting like the whirlwind of the south. The Lord of hosts shall defend them, and they shall devour and subdue with sling stones, and they shall drink and make a noise as through wine, and they shall be filled like bowls as the corners of the altar. And Yahweh their power shall save them in that day as the flock of his people. For they shall be as the stones of a crown, lifted up as an ensign upon his land. For how great is his goodness, and how great is his beauty. Corn shall make the young men cheerful, and new wine the maids. I told you, you women are going to be drinking some, you're going to be cheering. You women are going to be living the life of Riley. See that? A new wine the maids. The maids are the women, man. So just hold tight, you women, man. Get yourself in order and hold tight. Let's finish it here. Revelations 2:26. And he that overcometh, we got to hold on this to the end, family, and keepeth my words unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Over the nations. Starting with who? Edom is the main nation. Then Ishmael, Moab, Hagarenes. But the main people are the Edomites, the so-called European, so-called white man. And he shall rule them with what? With a rod of iron. So who's going to rule them? We are, the Israelites, the saints. King David, Yahweh shall on his throne. We're going to rule them, the 12 disciples, the apostles. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have received of my Father. And I will give him the morning star. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches. So you, Geezer, you got it all wrong, mate.
Genesis chapter 32. And Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God wept with him. And Jacob saw that he said the God's host, and called up the name place of Mahraim. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother, and unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom. And he commanded them, saying, Thus shall you speak unto my lord Esau, thy servant, Jacob thus saith, I have sojourned with the band and stayed there until now. I have oxen and asses and flocks and manservants and women servants, and I have sent to tell my Lord that he might find grace in thy sight. And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, we came to thy brother Esau, and he also cometh to meet thee with 400 men with him. And Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people. So Jacob is going to go meet his people. He's going to go meet Esau. So he's afraid. You can get into the story and read it even more so. But this is what happened when they met. You would think that Jacob was going to die at this situation, at this point. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened. We're going to go to...
So what he doesn't understand is that the relationship between Jacob and Esau had to be fermented over the next 3 millenniums to get where it is today. It had to be fermented. You know, when you ferment, is it apples and potatoes and that to ferment to make beer? It had to be fermented to get to where it is today. This is what this young man doesn't understand. This is why I said these guys are they're a house of confusion. Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries, complete house of confusion.
Verse chapter 33, and I just have a little bit more time. This is what happened when Jacob met his brother. After all these years, his brother Esau, that he thought wanted to kill him. This is what happened in Genesis chapter 33. And it says here in the 3rd verse, and he passed over before them and bowed himself to the ground 7 times until he came near to his brother. And Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. They were brothers. Esau, Jacob are twin brothers. We at the Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries are not afraid to teach. This is our culture. This is our family. This is what took place. So when people come to you about Esau and all this talk about Edom and Esau, just so that you do know, these 2 men were brothers and twins. It's not about being a Gentile. Esau is not a Gentile. If Esau is not a Gentile. Being a Gentile. Esau is not a Gentile. A Gentile. Esau is not a Gentile.
You hear that madness? He said Esau's not a Gentile. You see, this house Negro has a nostalgic view of Esau and Jacob. He doesn't understand that Esau was created to be the wicked. That the spirit of Esau goes back to the spirit of Cain, same spirit, which is in that same family line. He doesn't understand when the Lord told Rebekah, 2 nations are in thy womb. 2 nations. One is going to be considered the wicked, the other one considered the righteous. He doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand that Esau was born with no melanin in his skin. He is the forefather of the so-called white man. He's a completely confused Negro.com. That's what he is. Now he doesn't even think that Esau's. He says Esau's not a Gentile.
If that was the case, you would have seen the lineage when you read in Genesis. I'm sure we would have saw Esau.
That's their leader on the screen right there. That's the leader of this confused.com Israelite Nation Worldwide Ministries organization. That's their illustrious leader, Elder Shadrach.
In there someplace. But Esau is not a Gentile. Esau's heritage is much like our own. He was a shepherd. He was raised among shepherds. What language did he speak?
So as we can see, he believes that Esau was not a Gentile. Say no more. What can I say?
But he's raised among shepherds. What language did he speak?
See? So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I pray you're edified. As always, give all the praise and glory to Yahweh by Shemi, Al-Shai, by Shamrakah Kodash, double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone. I'll leave the link to this video as well in the description. Like I said, man, this organization is completely lost. The Lord is not dealing with them. The spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is not dealing with the Israelite Nation World Ministries. Praise and glory. Shalom, shalom, shalom.